All right, so we're just finishing the first neutral lap, and no teammates, by the way. Even though you'll see Brad in this race, no teamwork. Everyone's individual. Early attack from Cal Poly. This is Simon. He is strong. Speaking of Brad, there he goes. Usually my teammate, not today. I'm rolling the dice, you guys. I decide not to immediately chase this back, and the hope here is I would have others chase this back. This is Joe from Butcher Box. There's a lot of strong riders. It's not a big field. I think it's 14 or 15 riders, my guess. But a lot of strong guys. So I'm hoping that I can roll the dice and have it work out here and force others to chase. This is the game we always play, right? In a nutshell, bike racing strategy comes down to maximizing the time that you're spending in the draft, saving energy, and minimizing the amount of time that you're out on the front pushing through the wind, because that represents like a 30% savings in energy if you can sit in the draft. And that being said, we're coming up the hill here. I'm going to drop all the way, well, not all the way to the back, but pretty far to the back of this field. And that's simply because I want to save energy. Like, I want to be, when there's a group off the front, you can get to the back and you're kind of out of sight, out of mind. I want to force others to chase. But this is a dangerous game because that breakaway is just getting time on us. And just like a lap or two later, the chase is already falling apart. Everyone's trying to do what I'm doing. And we can't have that. So when I see these two more riders jump across, kind of squeeze through a gap right there. I cannot allow, it's dangerous enough to have two riders off the front. I cannot allow two more riders to go off the front, because then I'm really risking race over, and there's fewer number of riders to chase, and so this is something I have to chase back. And I end up in a chase group with Sam. He's this guy at the green shorts. Really good draft, by the way. He's a bigger rider. We distribute the work to get up to the lead group very evenly. You can see we're taking 1 lap pulls each. We didn't discuss this. This is the unspoken agreement when you're in chase group. We're almost like teammates in this situation. See, we're not taking big pulls. My heart rate's not jacked up. I'm not spiking my power. It's very consistent. It's very efficient. And our idea is, look, we're both losing this race until we get up to that lead group. And that's exactly what we do. And this ended up being the composition off the front. We have Sam on the front, kind of crushing it right now. We have Brad behind him, then Joe on Butcher Box. And one more rider. This is Simon on Cal Poly. He's going to be really consequential later on in this race. But this is the group, and it's a little bit too big. We did play nice for a while, but all good things must come to an end. And with just over 17 kilometers to go, I'm going to send an attack up the hill into the tailwind. Why? I don't know why. It's a practice race. I think if this were a much more consequential, bigger race, I would continue sitting in and letting this breakaway just kind of play out peacefully. But, man, it was just too nice, you guys. It was up the hill into the tailwind, and gave it a rip. You know, I was feeling pretty good on this day. The training's been really good, and I wanted to see, we were in a group of, 5? I wanted to see if maybe I can get a group of 2 or 3. Of course, I like my chances in a field sprint, but you know where I like my chances even better is in a field sprint of 2 or 3. I don't think I can go solo from 17 kilometers out, but I look back right there, you can see, that's so cool that we can use the 360 camera now. I look back right there, I realize, okay, well, that didn't really work. So all this really did was tee up this counterattack by Joe. And
let him dangle.
Right there, I say let him dangle. Immediately, I see where this is going. I've talked about bike racing and being like pattern recognition a lot. So Joe's by himself off the front. Nobody chased him back immediately, and I just immediately yelled, let him dangle.
We're teammates for a while, guys. Just let him have 5 seconds.
And again, the audio on the X5 is so good. So now we can have some fun insight into what's going on in these breakaway groups and how dynamic it is. In case you didn't catch it, we're teammates. Let him dangle. So now we're going to continue rotating, as you can see, as we fast forward a little bit. And the funny part is like Joe's up there, and this might seem threatening, right? We have a solo rider, 15 kilometers to go off the front, but it's very controlled. And what we're doing is when he picks up the pace a little bit off the front, he gets excited. He's like, oh, I have a gap. We just pick up the pace a little bit in the chase group. When he slows down a little bit because he's getting tired or whatever, we slow down a little bit. And we want to just allow him to dangle off the front. Like I said, with a 5-second gap, it's not very threatening. A 5-second gap can be easily bridged, but it's big enough to where Joe thinks, well, maybe this is working. And this is such a devious, sinister strategy to let Joe cook up there by himself. And it works out for like several laps. Notice how my heart rate's come down. The effort is very chill. It's very efficient. And also notice we've picked up a couple more chasers from behind. So now this lead group has expanded to, I think, 7 riders. But as we pick up Joe, it becomes a problem again where, 7's just too big for a successful breakaway. We're going to start attacking each other. And what have I always said before? It's the best defense is a good offense. I want these counterattacks, these inevitable counterattacks, to be on my terms. So I'm, again, going to just time it up the hill into the tailwind. And what I want to do is have a reduced field. I think 7's too big. I'm going to have to deal with counterattacks. Like I said, that is inevitable in this situation. A breakaway of like 7 or 8 riders is just never going to make it to the end peacefully. Even though that's what I want as a sprinter, it's just not going to happen. So kind of the same thing you see with the 360 camera. We're looking back. I'm elbow flicking, and I'm getting no response from Joe. And this is probably backfiring now because we let him dangle so long. He's like, dude, why would I help Jeff? He let me dangle off the front. So that attack didn't have the intended effect. But that's okay because it was controlled. It was on my terms. But the problem is, here we go with the counterattack up the hill by Simon on Cal Poly. Now this one stings. And this is what I was talking about, the inevitable counterattacks. Like Simon off the front, gap back to Brad, gap back to me. This is always really tough in the tailwind, especially just 20, 30 seconds after doing the same thing myself, but cannot let a guy like Simon get off the front, especially if Brad's able to get up with him. So going to have to chase this one back. And now, while we did drop a couple of riders, I think we're back down to 5 in this lead group. Nobody wants to bring a sprinter to the line, so the attacks start up again just 1 or 2 kilometers later. And, looks like 6, not 5. So we dropped 1 or 2 riders, and the counterattacks start up again. And it's in a pretty predictable spot here. I mean, I'm not the only one identifying the uphill tailwind is a good spot to attack. It's really hard. The draft isn't as good. It's really hard to follow the wheels. This is always a good launching pad for attacks. And you can see how dangerous these moments are. We have Joe looking back at the gap. At least I'm able to pass him on the left here, which is the sheltered side. Notice the wind direction. So I'm not giving him much of a benefit as we come back down this hill. But again, I have to chase back these 2 lead riders. Inside of 5 kilometers to go, it's just too dangerous to let these riders, in fact, 3 riders off the front, pardon me. It's too dangerous to let them organize off the front, a group of 3. That means there's only another group of 3 behind chasing. I don't like those odds, have to chase it back. But just a couple 100 meters later, nobody wants to sit up. And again, guys, up the hill into the tailwind, counterattack goes. And these last few laps were so dynamic. I think I could talk through these last few kilometers. There's not going to be any periods of chill. And every decision here is so consequential. Let me see if I can just talk through all of this. Okay, the name of the game, obviously, save as much energy for the sprint. Don't let any riders off the front. So it's always this game that you're playing of chicken, of like forcing others to chase. So we just came through probably 4 or 5 laps to go. This is 4 kilometers, and I'm going to stay in this draft as long as possible. I mean, we're going 29 miles an hour down this hill. We do have 2 riders off the front. I'm eyeing this gap, making sure it's manageable. Once this rider slows down in front of me, I'm going to have to jump across. I don't think he's going to bridge all the way. Yeah, the characteristic look back, the elbow flick, no time to hesitate. I have to commit the energy right here. And as we look back, I checked the gap, and there was some indecision behind. There was some confusion. There was not holding wheels. It's the game of chicken. So I'm back on the gas, and I chirp at these guys coming up the hill. I let them know I'm coming because I want some more organization. Again, I don't want to go solo from this distance because I don't think I can. I don't want to commit the energy, but I want to sprint from a reduced field. So that's why I let them know I'm coming, and I continue to take a pull as we come through the start-finish line back down this hill. As long as there's gaps behind, I'm comfortable committing some energy. Again, this is not, I'm not going crazy. It's this high 300s, kind of low 400 wattage. And I'm going to see if these riders behind me are going to commit the same level of effort that I am, because what I can't do is drag them to the finish. So the elbow flick, the look back, and nothing. Again, this is Joe sitting on behind. There's a group of 3 now. This is Joe sitting on. We let him dangle for a while. Again, it's backfiring again. Simon's gonna ride the front for a moment, though. He's interested in the selection from the selection, this group of 3. In fact, oh my God, he's gonna smash up this climb again. And now we're entering some dangerous territory because how many attacks has this been? This is another really hard effort up the climb. And in isolation, this isn't that hard of an effort, but you have to think we're deep into this race. There's less than 3 kilometers to go, just a handful of laps left. And we're getting tired. I normalized, I think, around 350 watts for this race, which is a lot. That is a lot of power for me. I'm not one of these 400-watt FTP guys, so that is a pretty close to threshold normalized power. Average was something like 300, I think. Back on the front, now we're attacking each other. Joe's not doing any work. And here's the thing, like when people refuse to pull through, like again right here is happening, same spot, I'm having deja vu. This tells me either Joe's legitimately tired or he's playing the game, right? Like so much of crit racing is fun. It's mind games. It's like pretending you're tired when you're not, skipping pulls when you should be working. And like I've always said, if your competition's frustrated, that probably means you're doing something right. And oh my God, Simon again. He's doing exactly what he should be doing, by the way, which is don't bring a sprinter to the line. Like I make public YouTube videos about my racing style, what my strengths and weaknesses are. And he's trying to get away from me, not let me see the final 200 meters is exactly what he should be doing. You can tell I was a little bit slower to chase that one back. And Joe, I don't know where he's at this point, you guys. He was off the front solo for a long period of time. He did get right onto Simon's wheel right there without much of a problem. So I'm thinking maybe he's been playing us this whole time. Maybe Joe is now going to launch an absolute haymaker of a counterattack. Speaking of which, this is the moment if you're not a sprinter. We have Joe who's shown that he's tired. We have Simon who has done a ton of work on the front. Do the big counterattack right here into the headwind, and it's probably going to be successful. But I don't have the legs to do that. I can't go for 1,300 meters, especially if they work together. I like my chances from 200 meters more. That's my strength. I have a bunch of fast twitch muscle fibers in my legs. I can't really go for much more than a minute without being really effective. And again, okay, this is the hill I die on. I remember this moment pretty specifically, thinking like, okay, well, if he gets away from me right here, he gets away from me. Chapeau, kudos, congratulations on the win. But this is the hill I die on. Like, I chase this back because we're inside of 1 kilometer to go, and I do everything I can to make sure I get him back. Now, I'm seeing cross-eyed, right? Like, I don't realize what's going on behind until I finally peek back, and I realize, oh, okay, so now it's just between Simon and I. I am able to close it down, but now I'm not concerned about a counterattack because Joe's been found out. He's been dropped. So now that answers that question. Was he playing us? Was he tired? I think he was legitimately tired. Now it's down to us two. I make a little bit of a mistake here. You see, I'm looking back. I'm making sure that our gap is now just between the two of us. I only have to worry about one other rider. But the mistake I made is I probably shouldn't have taken the front. I should have just actually used brakes right there. Fortunately, he's going to pass me. I like being in the second position right here. It can go either way. It depends on what type of sprinter you are. But I like to see everything that's going on in front of me. At this point, I don't have to worry about the riders behind. We're clear. It's between us. And again, the early sprint from the bottom of the hill. This is a long sprint, and I come at him with a head of speed, and here's the difference as I win the inside corner. And even though I was just totally seeing cross-eyed, I give him a little smile, a little smirk there, because I knew that winning the inside line was the difference between winning and losing. But, man, what an impressive performance from the young stud Simon. I think he's going to be cleaning the floor with us here pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. If you guys like this type of content, feel free to get subscribed. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.